What if one simple food, eaten at the right moment, could completely change how deeply you sleep and how powerfully your muscles repair themselves while you rest? We often think of muscle growth as something that happens in the gym, under the weights, during the workout. But the truth is, your real transformation happens when you close your eyes. Sleep is where the rebuilding occurs. During deep sleep, your brain triggers a surge of growth hormone, one of the body's most potent repair signals. It fuels muscle repair, burns fat, restores cells, and resets your system for the next day. But here's the catch. If your body doesn't have the right nutrients available when that signal fires, you miss a crucial window of opportunity. The fuel isn't there when the body is ready to build. Emerging research from institutions like Maastricht University and leading sleep nutrition labs has shown that carefully timed nutrition, just 30 to 60 minutes before bed, can dramatically enhance how your muscles recover and rebuild overnight. And the benefits don't stop at your muscles. The right pre-bed nutrients can also stabilize your blood sugar, improve slow-wave sleep, the most restorative phase of rest, and even boost cognitive function and mood the next day. But there's a flip side. The wrong nighttime foods can quietly sabotage everything, elevating cortisol, your stress hormone, disrupting your sleep cycles, and impairing the very hormones your body relies on for overnight repair. So today's question is simple, but incredibly important. What should you eat before bed to wake up stronger, not weaker? In this episode, we're going deep into the science of sleep and muscle recovery. We'll break down the relationship between amino acids and sleep quality, the role of stable blood sugar in keeping you asleep, how nighttime cortisol blocks muscle growth, and how food can lower it, the power of casein protein, and its slow-release fuel throughout the night, which natural carbohydrates help your brain produce melatonin, and the exact timing protocol used in clinical studies to maximize overnight muscle protein synthesis. Whether you're in your 60s working to protect your muscle mass, an athlete chasing better recovery, or simply someone who wants to wake up refreshed, strong, and clear, this episode will give you the tools to eat, sleep, and recover smarter. Let's dive into the science. If you've ever woken up sore after a workout or felt strangely drained despite a full night of sleep, your body may be missing something crucial, something most people overlook entirely. Slow-release amino acids. You see, protein synthesis, the process of rebuilding and repairing muscle fibers, isn't something that only happens after you leave the gym. It's a 24-hour cycle, and one of the most critical repair windows is while you're asleep. During the early part of the night, especially during deep non-REM sleep, your body enters a highly anabolic state. This is when your brain pulses out growth hormone, triggering tissue repair, fat metabolism, and cellular recovery. It's your body's quiet rebuilding phase, but here's where most people unknowingly fall short. By the time you slip into that deep repair phase, several hours have often passed since your last meal. Dinner was likely 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours earlier. And by that point, the amino acids from your meal have already peaked and begun to drop. So when your body sends out the call to build and repair, it may not have enough raw material available. This is where casein protein steps in and quietly becomes a game changer. Unlike fast-digesting proteins like whey, which spike amino acid levels for about 60 to 90 minutes, casein works differently. When consumed before bed, it forms a gel-like matrix in the stomach, slowly releasing amino acids over the next 6 to 8 hours. It's like setting up a steady, slow IV drip of muscle-building fuel while you sleep. In a 2012 study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise, researchers at Maastricht University provided participants with 40 grams of casein protein 30 minutes before bed. The results: significantly higher overnight protein synthesis compared to those who didn't consume protein. This wasn't a small, marginal benefit. It directly supported muscle recovery and growth while they slept. And it's not just younger athletes who benefit. Another study published in the Journal of Nutrition followed older adults over 12 weeks of resistance training. Those who consumed nightly casein built more muscle and strength than those who didn't, a particularly important finding since muscle loss accelerates quickly after age 60. But what's really happening inside your body during all of this? When amino acids from casein are steadily available overnight, your body can fully capitalize on hormones like growth hormone and IGF-1, both essential for building and preserving muscle. Without enough amino acids, your body shifts gears into a more catabolic state, breaking down tissue rather than rebuilding it. The good news: you can easily support this process with one simple nightly ritual. Consume 30 to 40 grams of micellar casein protein about 30 minutes before bed. Mix it with water or unsweetened almond milk. For added benefit, stir in a little cinnamon or magnesium-rich cacao to further support sleep quality. If you prefer whole foods, you have options there too. A cup of low-fat Greek yogurt or cottage cheese provides 20 to 25 grams of slow-digesting casein. Just remember, avoid pairing casein with too much fat or fiber at night, as this can slow digestion too much and potentially disrupt your sleep. And here's something fascinating: a piece of the sleep puzzle that ties nutrition directly into brain chemistry. Have you ever felt heavy-eyed after a bowl of pasta or rice? That's not just a food coma. It's biochemistry at work. The connection between carbohydrates and sleep isn't just old folklore, it's deeply rooted in neuroscience. Here's what researchers have found. Certain carbohydrates, when consumed before bed, enhance your brain's ability to absorb tryptophan, the amino acid that your brain uses to make serotonin and eventually melatonin, the key hormones that regulate sleep. The catch: tryptophan has to compete with other amino acids to cross into the brain. Imagine it as one small person trying to board an overcrowded train. But when you consume some carbohydrates, your body releases insulin, which shuttles many of the competing amino acids into muscle cells, leaving tryptophan with a much clearer path into the brain. Once there, it can be converted into serotonin, then melatonin, helping you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more restored. Back in 2007, researchers published something fascinating in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. They found that eating a high glycemic carbohydrate meal about 4 hours before bed significantly shortened sleep onset latency, meaning people fell asleep faster compared to those who ate low glycemic or no-carb meals. More recently, a 2022 review in Nutrients took this even further. When participants consumed moderate carbohydrate meals combined with tryptophan-rich proteins before bed, not only did they fall asleep faster, but they also experienced more deep, slow-wave sleep and fewer nighttime awakenings. The message is clear. The right combination of protein and carbs before bed can profoundly impact how well you sleep and how your muscles recover. So, how do we apply this in real life? Here's a simple, science-backed protocol. Combine a moderate amount of low-fat, tryptophan-rich protein like casein with a small portion of complex carbohydrates, about 1 to 2 hours before bed. Some easy examples: a bowl of Greek yogurt with a drizzle of honey and a few berries, cottage cheese paired with half a banana, a scoop of micellar casein protein with a rice cake, or a small serving of oats. This pairing creates an ideal hormonal environment. You stimulate just enough insulin to help tryptophan cross into the brain, where it can be converted into serotonin and eventually melatonin, the key hormone that controls sleep cycles. Meanwhile, casein provides a slow, steady stream of amino acids to fuel overnight muscle recovery. But here's one important note. This isn't about loading up on carbs late at night. Too many carbs can spike your blood sugar and disrupt sleep. The goal here is a gentle nudge, just enough to help the brain receive tryptophan without overwhelming your system. If this approach is helping you connect the dots between what you eat and how you sleep, consider subscribing. Here on Elder Wisdom, We're all about taking the latest in neuroscience and physiology and translating it into practical tools you can start using tonight. And now, let's take this one step deeper. There's a small, sweet-tasting amino acid most people completely overlook, and yet, it may hold one of the keys to better sleep and deeper recovery: glycine. Glycine works on two powerful fronts. First, in the brain, it acts as both a neurotransmitter and a natural calming agent. It binds to NMDA receptors, which promotes mental quiet, reduces overactive thinking, and helps improve overall sleep architecture. Second, in the body, glycine serves as a thermoregulator. It signals blood vessels near the skin to dilate, allowing your core temperature to drop, which is essential for reaching deep, restorative non-REM sleep. Here's the fascinating part. Your body needs to cool down by about 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit to fully enter deep sleep. Glycine helps facilitate that process naturally and efficiently. In one 2007 study published in Sleep and Biological Rhythms, researchers gave participants 3 grams of glycine 1 hour before bedtime. The results were impressive. Subjects fell asleep faster, reported better sleep quality, and woke up feeling more refreshed and alert, even when total sleep time didn't change. Now here's something fascinating. Even when your total sleep time doesn't change, the quality of that sleep can be dramatically different. In multiple studies, including research published in Neuropsychopharmacology and Frontiers in Neurology, glycine has been shown to do far more than just help you fall asleep faster. It can actually increase slow-wave sleep, the deep stage of sleep where your body repairs muscle, restores brain function, and consolidates memory. This means you're not just spending time in bed, you're actually restoring your body and brain more efficiently. Beyond that, glycine may also help reduce symptoms of insomnia and nighttime anxiety, while supporting anti-inflammatory pathways that are crucial for muscle repair. But that's not where the story ends. Glycine also plays a key role in collagen synthesis. And collagen isn't just about skin and joints. It's critical for repairing your connective tissues, the tendons, ligaments, fascia, and joints that take a beating during both exercise and daily life. So with glycine, you're getting a double benefit: better sleep and better tissue repair, all while you rest. So how do you use it? The protocol is simple. Take 3 grams of glycine about 30 minutes before bed. You can mix it into water. It has a mildly sweet taste, or stir it into herbal tea as part of a calming nighttime routine. Glycine is available in both powder and capsule form, making it easy to find in most supplement stores. If you prefer food-based sources, options like bone broth and collagen peptides are naturally rich in glycine. Just keep an eye on added ingredients like sodium if you're drinking broth at night. For even greater benefits, many people combine glycine with magnesium glycinate, a form of magnesium that promotes relaxation while pairing perfectly with glycine's calming effects. Now, let's get personal for a moment. Have you ever woken up groggy, even after 8 solid hours in bed? That sluggish feeling is often because you didn't get enough deep, restorative sleep, the kind glycine helps promote. It's not just about how long you sleep. It's about how deeply your body restores itself while you do. So if you want to fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, and wake up stronger, while also protecting your joints and muscles, glycine is a powerful tool to add to your nighttime routine. But there's another factor most people miss, something that can actively work against your overnight recovery: cortisol. Now, cortisol isn't always the villain. We need cortisol for energy, focus, and survival. But when cortisol spikes at the wrong time, especially at night, it can sabotage your muscle repair, disrupt your sleep, and accelerate aging. Here's the key insight. Spikes in nighttime cortisol often occur due to blood sugar dips, late-night anxiety, or irregular sleep habits. When your blood sugar falls too low overnight, especially if you haven't eaten for several hours, or you've consumed caffeine or alcohol too late, your body goes into survival mode. Your adrenal glands release cortisol to pull glucose from your muscle tissue and liver to keep your brain fueled. While this protects your immediate survival, it comes at a cost: muscle breakdown, poor sleep, slower recovery. This becomes especially important for people over 40. As we age, baseline cortisol levels tend to rise, while anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone decline. In this hormonal environment, preserving muscle becomes harder, and cortisol becomes even more damaging. One study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that elevated nighttime cortisol is directly associated with less slow-wave sleep and greater muscle protein breakdown. A 2019 study from the University of Birmingham found that cortisol even blunts the protective effects of protein intake, making it harder for older adults to maintain muscle mass. So how can you stop this downward spiral? Here's a simple strategy. Consume a small, balanced snack about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. The goal is to gently stabilize blood sugar and reduce cortisol's need to activate overnight. Your snack should include protein to supply amino acids that support muscle repair, complex carbs to gently stabilize blood sugar, magnesium or glycine to calm the nervous system. For example, half a cup of cottage cheese provides casein and tryptophan. A small spoonful of almond butter, healthy fat plus magnesium. A few slices of banana or berries, gentle, low glycemic carbs. You don't need much. 150 to 200 calories is often enough. The goal isn't heavy eating, it's hormonal stability and muscle preservation. And one final tip: avoid high glycemic carbs or refined sugars late at night. These can cause blood sugar spikes and crashes, disrupting both sleep quality and muscle recovery. When blood sugar spikes late at night from refined carbs, sugary snacks, or alcohol, it often crashes a few hours later. And for many people, that crash comes right around 2 or 3 a.m., waking you up, heart racing, brain racing, with a surge of cortisol. It's one of the most common yet overlooked reasons for fragmented sleep. But here's another piece of the puzzle. If you struggle with overthinking, rumination, or anxiety before bed, cortisol may already be running higher than it should. And when cortisol is elevated, your body has a much harder time settling into deep, restorative sleep. So what can you do? 2 simple tools can make a big difference. First, consider adding adaptogens like ashwagandha earlier in the evening. This ancient herb has been shown to help regulate cortisol and support the nervous system's natural calming response. Second, practice just 3 minutes of slow, diaphragmatic breathing before bed. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 6 to 8 seconds. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, signaling safety to your brain and allowing cortisol to drop naturally. If insights like these are helping you better understand how to build a resilient, healthier body as you age, consider subscribing. This channel is here to help you transform your biology with science-backed tools that actually work, so that your sleep becomes a tool for healing, not a threat to the progress you've made. Because at the end of the day, or rather at the end of the night, your sleep shouldn't undo the hard work you put in during the day. With the right evening protocol, it can amplify it. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked but essential minerals for both sleep and muscle recovery: magnesium. If you've ever dealt with restless legs, nighttime cramps, or lying awake with a racing mind, magnesium may be the missing piece. Shockingly, it's estimated that up to 50% of adults don't get enough magnesium through diet alone. This deficiency is even more common in people who train hard, experience chronic stress, or are over 60. Magnesium supports over 300 enzymatic processes in the body, many of them directly related to nervous system regulation, muscle repair, and inflammation control. In the brain, magnesium helps regulate GABA receptors, the primary system responsible for calming the mind and promoting deep sleep. It also supports the parasympathetic nervous system, helping shift your body into rest and digest mode before bed. One 2012 double-blind study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that older adults who supplemented with magnesium for just 8 weeks experienced longer sleep time, higher sleep efficiency, fewer early morning awakenings, and importantly, lower nighttime cortisol and higher melatonin levels. But magnesium's benefits don't stop at sleep. It also plays a key role in muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough, muscles may stay semi-contracted overnight, leading to cramps or tightness. Magnesium also helps regulate inflammatory cytokines, speeding up recovery after physical strain. So how do you optimize your magnesium intake naturally? Here's a simple nighttime protocol. Add 1–2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds or almonds to your evening snack. Include cacao nibs or dark chocolate for added magnesium and brain-boosting flavonoids. Sip on a warm cup of magnesium-rich herbal tea, such as rooibos or chamomile. If supplementing, consider magnesium glycinate, calming, gut-friendly, ideal for sleep. Magnesium threonate crosses the blood-brain barrier, supporting cognitive recovery. Take your supplement about 60 minutes before bed for maximum effect. And one key behavioral insight to remember: stress, alcohol, sugar, and sweating all deplete magnesium. If any of these are common in your life, your magnesium needs may be much higher than average. Have you ever noticed how your sleep feels deeper after a calm evening and a nourishing snack? That's not just good luck, that's your biochemistry aligning with your behavior. If you want to give your muscles the tools to rebuild, and your nervous system the signal to slow down and recharge, magnesium-rich foods may be one of the most underrated strategies you can use. Too often, we treat sleep and nutrition as separate health categories. But in reality, these two systems are deeply connected, especially when it comes to maintaining and rebuilding muscle after age 40, and even more so as we cross into our 60s and beyond. Here's the truth: deep, consistent sleep isn't just rest, it's an anabolic window. Your body takes advantage of this time to release growth hormone, repair muscle fibers, rebuild connective tissue, and replenish neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. But none of this happens randomly. It depends on timing, consistency, and the right signals. Let's walk through what's happening inside your body during those first few sleep cycles. During slow-wave sleep, your pituitary gland secretes a powerful surge of growth hormone, GH. And this isn't just for teenagers. GH plays a vital role at every stage of life in muscle protein synthesis, collagen formation, fat metabolism, and immune system regulation. But here's the catch: growth hormone secretion is tightly linked to your circadian rhythm. If your sleep schedule is inconsistent, if you're eating dinner late one night and skipping it the next, or if your pre-bed nutrition is chaotic, your GH release gets blunted or delayed, and your recovery suffers. A 2019 study published in Frontiers in Physiology found that consistent sleep-wake cycles, paired with protein intake before bed, led to significant increases in overnight muscle protein synthesis, MPS, especially in trained and older adults. In simple terms, your body doesn't just need nutrients, it needs predictability to put those nutrients to work. This is what I call the sleep muscle loop. When you eat properly before bed, you improve sleep depth and hormonal balance. Deeper sleep enhances muscle recovery, nervous system recalibration, and insulin sensitivity. Better recovery leads to stronger workouts, healthier appetite regulation, and more motivation the next day. And those better habits feed right back into better nighttime routines. The loop keeps reinforcing itself. But unfortunately, the reverse is also true. When sleep becomes erratic, nutrition becomes inconsistent, or you let late-night stressors creep in. Cortisol rises, growth hormone drops, sleep fragments, and the signal for muscle repair gets drowned out by stress and metabolic confusion. So how do you lock in this positive loop? Here's a simple, behavioral protocol you can start tonight. Go to bed at roughly the same time each night. Aim for a 30-minute window to lock in your circadian rhythm. Have a consistent pre-bed protein-carb blend. Not some nights, every night. Create a steady feeding signal for your muscles and brain. Wind down with the same calming ritual. This could be light dimming, screens off, 5 minutes of breathwork or journaling. You're teaching your nervous system, now we recover. The beauty of consistency is this: it amplifies small behaviors into powerful, lasting biological change. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to stack the right habits. Nutrient timing, sleep consistency, calming behavioral cues. When these elements work together, your sleep becomes anabolic. Your muscles aren't just preserved, they're rebuilt. And your energy, focus, and resilience become your new normal. This is what we mean when we talk about aligning neuroscience with behavior. It's not magic, it's rhythm. Let's bring everything full circle. What you eat before bed and when you eat it holds far more power than most people realize. This isn't just about fighting off late-night hunger or checking off your protein target. It's about sending the right signals to your nervous system, your muscles, and your hormones, exactly when your body is primed to heal, rebuild, and grow. We started with a simple but surprising truth. Sleep itself can be one of the most powerful muscle-building states if you give your brain and body the right conditions. From there, we explored 6 research-backed strategies that can transform your evening routine into a tool for deep, nightly restoration. Slow digesting protein before bed, especially casein, to fuel overnight muscle protein synthesis. Tryptophan-rich foods to naturally support melatonin production and ease your body into restful sleep. Glycine, a simple but powerful amino acid that deepens sleep, regulates core body temperature, and supports connective tissue repair. Cortisol control through nighttime nutrition, using protein, healthy fats, and gentle carbohydrates to stabilize blood sugar and block muscle breakdown. Magnesium-rich foods or supplements to calm the nervous system, reduce inflammation, and enhance both physical and mental recovery. And finally, the sleep muscle loop, the reinforcing power of consistency across sleep-wake timing, evening nutrition, and pre-sleep rituals. Each one of these tools is supported by science. Each one is a lever you can pull, a small, intentional input that influences your sleep quality, your body's ability to build muscle, and your overall resilience. But most importantly, what they give you is agency. You don't have to wait and hope that your energy comes back. You don't have to accept that age will automatically steal your strength. You have the power to intervene starting tonight. And you don't need a complete life overhaul to begin. All it takes is one simple shift, one new habit. So here's my challenge to you. Pick just one protocol from this episode. Commit to it for 3 nights in a row. Maybe it's adding 3 grams of glycine to your herbal tea before bed. Maybe it's introducing a casein-based protein snack an hour before sleep. Or maybe it's as simple as setting a strict digital wind-down time to signal your brain it's time to slow down. Try it. Observe how you sleep. Notice how you feel in the morning. Watch how your recovery, your focus, and your mood start to shift, not just in your workouts but throughout your entire day. Because what happens tonight sets the stage for tomorrow, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The better you sleep, the better your nervous system functions, the more balanced your hormones stay, and the more calm, adaptive, and focused you become in the gym, at work, and in life. If this breakdown gave you new insight, if you value practical, science-backed tools that empower both your mind and body, I invite you to subscribe. Here on Be Healthy Seniors, we're building a community of people who aren't looking for hype, but for truth they can actually use. So hit that like button. Leave a comment below and tell me which protocol you're going to try first. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Because we're building something meaningful here, one behavior, one tool, one night at a time. Remember, the smallest changes done consistently create the biggest results. Sleep well tonight. Your body and your future self will thank you.